Hey, what's up, everybody? Cinephile Mike here. We are in season 4 of award season reviews. 98 reviews in 98 days, counting down to the 98th Academy Awards. Quick reminder, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss any of the great content coming your way on this channel. Movie reviews, interviews with Oscar contenders, and so much more. And look, we are starting to wrap up our 6th theme week. It is International, I really call it International Appreciation Week. I've been looking at 7 films not in the English language, taking award season by storm. Yesterday's was a heavy one, and you know what? Today, I'm sorry, we're staying at another heavy one, but these films are so powerfully made, they deserve to be talked about more. And today, I'm talking about Mstyslav Chernov's timely follow-up to his Oscar-winning 20 Days in Mariupol. Today, I talk about 2,000 Meters to Andriivka. The film, distributed by PBS, premiered at the Sundance Film Festival almost a year ago, before having select screenings across the globe. 2,000 Meters to Andriivka follows journalists Chernov alongside Alex Babenko as they embed with a Ukrainian platoon during a 2023 mission to reclaim the village of Andriivka, which then, under Russian occupation, it was during the second year of the war. The film documents the slow, dangerous push toward the village, a distance that, on paper, 2,000 meters, it's about, it's not that much, but it becomes such an exhausting and deadly journey throughout this film as we watch them go through the combat zones, and much of what we see unfolds through body camera footage worn by Ukrainian soldiers capturing the advance in real time. As the platoon moves forward, explosions grow closer, the casualties mount, and the environment becomes increasingly unrecognizable and scary. The journalists themselves are at constant risk. They're identified by their blue press vests, which, ironically, it marks a target on them. They're here to observe, but nobody wants this documented. Even when they talk about them over the military radio, we see that the journalists are referred to as pencils, a coded reminder of just how dangerous and precarious, their position is. Along the way, the film pauses to introduce individual soldiers through some brief conversations and moments of reflection. They talk about defending their land, their families, the meaning of Andriivka, a village that actually holds little material value, but represents the possibility to rebuild and reclaim the agency. And as the platoon inches closer to its objective, the film makes it clear that the cost of this mission is immense. What immediately sets 2,000 Meters to Andriivka apart is its relentless first-person perspective. The body cam footage is jarring, I'd even say disorienting at times, and a little difficult to process, but it seems entirely intentional. Chernov places us directly inside the experience, not as distant observers, but as witnesses moving step by step through an environment where danger is constant and unpredictable. The effect, it's immersive in a way that, in my opinion, few documentaries attempt and let alone are able to sustain. The structure, it's very simple but very effective. As the platoon advances, the distance to Andriivka is repeatedly displayed on screen. The number of meters shrinking while the cost of every step is getting heavier and heavier. This device, this visual countdown emphasizes how something so physically close can feel so incredibly far away. The integration also of archival footage alongside the body cam material provides just enough historical and emotional context without breaking the immediacy of the moment. It reinforced that this mission is just a small piece of a larger puzzle, larger challenge. Now, my biggest thing with the film is possibly a deliberate emotional distance maintained throughout the film that may frustrate some viewers. We don't really get extended backstories or deeply personal portraits of the soldiers. We get a little bit with some, and in the absence feels purposeful. I yes, it's frustrating because you want to connect with these people, right? That's what we do in documentary films. But again, maybe, by necessity design, Chernov resists encouraging, the easy emotional attachment. And maybe this is to avoid, the sacrifice and loss. I mean, there's going to be loss in this film, and the result, it's haunting, especially a moment when, they're walking along and you see, the presence of fallen soldiers in the frame. There was one line of dialogue from the film that stuck with me that said, what if this war is until the end of our lives? 2,000 meters to Andriivka, it doesn't attempt to answer that question, but it's one of many that it makes you sit with. Now let's talk about the box office and awards for the film. Boy, these are powerful films back to back. As of this recording and posting, while the film has had some domestic and international runs, our usual source, Box Office Mojo, only cites the international take, and thus worldwide, of the film having made $14,863. Critically, the film has a tomato meter of 94% from 49 reviews and a 91% popcorn meter from over 50 reviews. Award season-wise, Chernov was awarded the Directing Award at the Sundance Film Festival for World Cinema in Documentary, and the film was a Grand Jury Prize nominee in the same category. It was nominated for 5 Critics' Choice Documentary Awards: Best Feature, Director, Narration, Editing, and Score. It was named one of the top 5 documentaries of the year by the National Board of Review, and it received a Best Documentary nod at the Gotham Awards. Also, in addition to several recognitions by critic circles and film festivals, the film is also currently in the running for 2 Guild Awards, one from the American Society of Cinematographers for Outstanding Cinematography in Documentary, and for Outstanding Directorial Achievement in Documentary, the film is nominated by the Directors Guild of America. As for the Oscars, I would say this one is very much a front-runner for a nomination. It is shortlisted for Best Documentary, and Chernov has the Oscar history, so will it make the cut? We're going to find out in about a week. So where do I land? I was very impressed with 20 Days in Mariupol, and that film was a 5-star film for me, so I went in excited to see what this follow-up was. But again, for me, while that emotional distance I talked about may have been intentional, for me it kind of took me out of the film a little bit. So I have to say 2,000 Meters to Andriivka, while still powerful, it's a 4-star film. I just needed to know more about these subjects, especially given the subject matter. But that's me. Let me know your comments. What do you think? If you haven't seen 2,000 Meters to Andriivka yet, it is currently streaming on PBS's website. All right. Thank you for joining me for episode 40 of Awards Season Reviews Season 4. We're going to be doing this every day. We've got 58 days left, so make sure you stay with me. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, drop your thoughts in the comments. You can follow me everywhere on social platforms, on Letterboxd, and of course, head over to my website, cinephilemike.com, for more reviews, movie goodies, interviews with Oscar shortlisted talent. So much good stuff over there. All right, I'll be back tomorrow with the penultimate review for International Week. Until then, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.